Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So a few days ago, I read a very interesting article in the Washington Post about a black man who infiltrated white supremacist groups online by posing as a white racist troll. He gained information about their community, about their belief system and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to talk about some of the things that he said, and then I'm going to talk about another topic that is kind of related to it. So he talked about how these people don't view African Americans as fully human, how they view us as some kind of separate species from human beings. He also talked about how he doesn't really hold out hope that a lot of these people will change and become non-racist. He talked about how they basically live in a bubble, like in a protective bubble online, so that enables them to just spew their hatred without consequences. And he mentioned that a lot of them feel like they have less opportunity than their fathers. You know, a lot of them are concerned about affirmative action. And he pointed out how he has come to understand like some of their views with respect to like their hostility towards liberals, because they say that liberals are intolerant while they preach about tolerance and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very interesting article, and for more details, again, I encourage you all to read that article. But that article sparked my curiosity. It made me want to think about another topic that's related to it, and that's the infiltration of the black community on YouTube. It made me think, like, to what extent is the black community on YouTube infiltrated by white supremacists and just white people in general? You know, because I am sure that a lot of these people who pose as being African American are in fact white people. In fact, in some of these cases, they are white supremacists. And sometimes it's very obvious that these people are not black. And I'll give you a couple of examples. Like, a lot of times they will use derogatory images of black people, really offensive, stereotypical images as their avatars. So that's a dead giveaway right there. And then you have cases where these people say the most outlandish and ridiculous things, and then after making ridiculous statements, for instance, defending police brutality, attacking affirmative action, or attacking black women, or condoning racism, you know, after making those ridiculous statements, they'll say, and I'm a black person. I say this as a black person. To me, that's a dead giveaway that they are not black. Because how many black people you know who actually have to say that I'm a black person? And when you go to many of these people's pages, you see that they have zero content. They don't post any videos of their own, thereby hiding their true identity. And when you look up what channels they are subscribed to, often that's a dead giveaway that they are not black people. So I'm confident that that goes on. And the reason is, why does this happen? You know, why is the black YouTube community being infiltrated? And there are a couple of reasons that come to mind. Number one, you know, some people are just curious. They want to know, like, what black people think, what black people are up to, what black people do, and all that kind of stuff. So they're nosy. You know, these are nosy people butting into black conversations that deal with black issues that have nothing to do with this white man. But for some reason, they are so curious that they have to butt into our conversations, get into our debates when they don't even belong there. So I think that that's one of the reasons why they do what they do. Another reason is a lot of these people like to prop up black people who serve as mouthpieces for white supremacy. So they try to prop them up by giving the appearance that these people have a lot of black supporters, when in fact a lot of these people posing as black are white people and white supremacists as well. That becomes obvious to me, because there is no way in hell that any rational black person could support some of these coons on YouTube. Some of these racist apologists, you know, these people who defend racists, these people who defend police that kill our people, these people who attack black women, there's no way in hell that a rational black person can support these people. So I'm confident, that a lot of these people have their support from these white supremacists and white people in general who are posing as black. And what that does, again, is it props these people up. It gives them legitimacy. It makes it seem like they have a legitimate black following. And in fact, a lot of these people that follow them are white people, and they're basically puffing up their numbers, making them bigger than what they are in terms of their black supporters and black subscribers. And I think that just serves the purpose of making these people appear to legitimately represent the black community when they in fact do not represent the thoughts and opinions of the black community. They represent a minority view in the community. So that's one thing. And then it becomes obvious that that's the case. It becomes obvious that these white supremacists follow those types of black mouthpieces for white supremacy when you see these people's videos posted on white supremacist sites like the Stormfront, a site that has been basically taken down recently because of his inciting of violence and hatred and all that kind of stuff. So these white supremacists would not post your video on their hate-filled channels or hate-filled websites if you were not preaching what they wanted to hear, if you were not in fact serving as a mouthpiece. So those are a couple of reasons. Another reason is to just gather information about the key players on YouTube, about the various followers of various YouTube personalities, to gain this information for counterintelligence type of purposes. I mean, we all are familiar with COINTELPRO, and make no mistake about it, I'm sure that the government is still gathering this information. I'm sure that hate groups are gathering this information as well for their own purposes. So that's another reason. And in fact, I'm sure that some of these infiltrators, some of these people who are posing as black on YouTube, another one of their goals is to cause division, chaos, and confusion in the black community on YouTube, to cause division between various YouTube personalities and to cause division between black men and black women. That becomes apparent to me. It seems that some of these people who are posing as black women, for instance, who swirl and who love the white man so much, I'm pretty sure that some of those people are, in fact, white men posing as black women to stoke, and fire up this whole anti-black man attitude on YouTube, and thereby fueling this gender war. And I'm sure that the reverse is true, where you have white women posing as black men and vice versa and all that kind of stuff to stoke, these gender problems and issues, and also to cause chaos and confusion. Again, if you study the history of COINTELPRO, you will understand that one of the objectives of that movement, of that program, was to cause division and chaos and confusion in the black liberation movement, thereby destroying it, having various groups and factions within groups warring against each other instead of against the system. So that's one thing. Another purpose that these infiltrators may serve is to serve as agent provocateurs, encouraging people to engage in illegal activity so that they can set them up to get arrested, so that they can set them up to basically be neutralized. And I'm sure that there are some people that serve that role, encouraging illegal activity. Like you have these faceless people here on YouTube that don't even post any content of their own, don't show their face, encouraging people to engage in illegal activity, talking all this rah-rah revolution BS rhetoric when they're not really about their life, when in fact what they're trying to do is collect information about those who are actually about their life, about those who are possibly inspired by that kind of rhetoric and stuff like that, so that they could set these people up, set them up so they could get locked up and discredited and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure, that some people serve in that capacity, but I would guess, like if I was to just guess as to why most of the people infiltrate, it's because of curiosity, man. These people hate black people, but they can't find a way to get out of black people's business, man. And it kind of reminds me of the days of slavery, when black people would congregate. The slave master wouldn't allow that because they didn't want black people to organize against the slave master. So they prevented black people from congregating and organizing, and they always made sure that they were present so that they would know what was going on in the black community and among black thinkers and stuff. So this is no different, man. You know, I'm sure that there are people that are infiltrating the black community just as that brother infiltrated the white supremacist community. And one thing that I have to ask that brother is, what did he accomplish? I mean, he intervened, or he infiltrated that community, but did he help take down any of these white supremacists? I mean, we already know their racist views and all that kind of stuff. We know their racist opinions. So going in there and discovering that doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't uncover anything. Did he uncover any kind of conspiracies to commit crimes? Did he have these people reported to law enforcement? What did he accomplish? That's what I would ask him if I had a chance to. So tell me what you all think about this. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And also, you can support this channel by making donations. Peace.